It's Chillmonger, another video here. This one is about a tweet. I tweeted this a couple days ago. Let's read it. If you like Ms. Marvel and are okay with her powers changing in the MCU, then you don't like Ms. Marvel. You just want to appear accepting of her. Your urge to show how not racist you are is blinding you from treating her with the standards of any comic adaptation demand accuracy. This resonated. Got 11 retweets here, 4 quote tweets, so that's 15, and 67 likes. View the tweet activity had 3,000 impressions. This doesn't happen. This was a message that people heard loud and clear and were down with. What does that mean? It means that it's Twitter, first of all, so it's not real life, and it doesn't mean anything. But what I mean by this is that we are blinded, literally, the glamour of holy smokes. We have Ms. Marvel, and now she's not a white character and she exists now, and we gotta promote this to the moons. Hooray, because our whole lives depends on not being racist, and that's why we log on to Twitter, and so we say positive things about the brown-skinned girl, because that's who I am as a person, and they're prioritizing that over getting it right. That's what's happening here. The character is new, doesn't have much comic book issues, but when I see the Ms. Marvel TV show for the first time and I go, whoa, this is cool. I really like her. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to comic books now and I'm going to support this character that way. Let's go to issue number 1. Huh? Why doesn't she glow? Huh? Ms. Marvel doesn't do that. She's supposed to have circles that she stands on to walk over to building. This is different. Why isn't the thing that I saw on TV being replicated here in these comic books? What's going? Why cause the confusion? You own the rights to Ms. Marvel. You own the rights to everything she's ever done. There's no studio um, when someone else owns it with what's happening with Sony. Why? We've never had the story of Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel been told, so there's no reason to spice it up just so you could be different from other times, which is Marvel is known to do that, just so they don't repeat the same stuff that happened in the first Hulk movie. That's why the 2008 Hulk movie, it acted like you already knew the way he became Hulk. They just kind of went with it. That's what Marvel does. They didn't need to do that for Kamala. This was the chance to make it known loud and clear that Kamala Khan is a polymorph. You notice how I'm not saying inhuman? I don't care. You can make her not inhuman. You can start the show the day minute 1 starts with her going, "What's going on with me?" and begin there. I don't care. I don't really need Terrigen Mist and that kind of stuff. It'd be nice to get a comic book accurate there, but if you just skip it and you leave it to our imaginations, fine. To make it seem as if she has a bracelet that gives her superpowers, which is totally not what the comic book does. Ruins the identity aspect of the comic book. The comic itself realizes what's happening with Marvel. It sees Kamala herself sees superheroes in one shade, in one skin tone. She sees, okay, look, if I'm gonna do something super, let me do something super. But why is she a white woman when she does it? She literally turns her body into Carol Danvers every time. How do we explain this? It's not the same character anymore. Trailer trickery exists and all of this could be false, right? Maybe they're saving the fact that Brie Larson is part of the show and maybe there will be a scene that happens exactly like that. I don't know. I'm going off from what I've seen on the trailer, and from the trailer it looks like bracelets give her powers, bracelets make her make shields, which was not even close to Kamala Khan's abilities. I didn't get to see Kamala Khan shrink. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but she can. She has the ability to shrink. She can turn herself into filing cabinet, anything she wants. This trailer didn't show me that. This trailer showed me nonsense. So let's go back to the tweet and we will read some of these comments, okay? Sounds like they agreed with your boy and decided girls don't like seeing their body distorted in odd proportions, so they won't emphasize with that power set. This is very specific to the style in which they do Ms. Marvel powers. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I probably shouldn't have read that at all. Her old power origins and powers were fine as is. They should not change either for the MCU period. What did they do with her powers? Well, I didn't explain it to him, but you can watch this video, sir. Watch my video. K-Dot says that, yeah, there was no need to give her these energy-based powers. No need. It's very different from what she's supposed to be. Had to alter her to preserve Reed Richards. That's another thing. Marvel never ever said that. That guy in the comments said that. No one ever said, coming from the studio, well, we didn't want Reed Richards' powers to be doubled. That's not true. They don't think that way. And if they do, they're wrong to think that way. They have enough characters who double up on powers. Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange. They fly around the abracadabra. That's what they do. When Deadpool comes in here, in the Multiverse of Madness, Deadpool comes, we're going to say, oh, Deadpool, cool. And, he'll be Deadpool. But then are they going to say, because Deadpool heals, Wolverine can't really heal either. We're going to have to give him some sort of neon things that come out of his claws, that light-based powers. That's what just happened. It's not okay. This is wrong. Can you imagine if Wolverine has three, like Raphael has the three, but the tall one is in the middle and the others are smaller. Even if the claws look like that, that's a bite that you can't. No one lets that happen. That doesn't just slide. Comic book accuracy is something we demand for Wolverine. Yeah, same standards for Kamala Khan. Stop trying to be not racist. Alert! Wake up! You are allowing something to happen, and you're treating her with different level. Like there's classes. There's like, well, I care for Spider-Man, and it really means a lot that he gets the great power responsibility line. And I'll be mad if they don't say it, or I'll talk about it if they don't give him that line because it's part of Spider-Man's character. Same standards for Kamala Khan. Don't be blinded. I'm just repeating myself, honestly. So someone actually responded to him. K-Dot, what did K-Dot said? I guarantee that they won't have Reed do the cool stuff she can do while stretching. She can do a lot more than Reed with her polymorph abilities. That's what I'm talking about, K-Dot. Thank you. It's not the same. And Reed Richards is very different. The family man that he is and the stories that will come out of him, they could have the exact same powers. Not just stretching, but everything that Kamala can do. Imagine if Reed could do that. Shift his face and change it to somebody else. It would still be a different story because of what Reed Richards is. He's more than just his powers. He is also a character within the Fantastic Four, the whole team element. Kamala's a solo. This guy says, no, Reed has done so much more with his powers, but he chooses not to use them in a cooler manner. Reed actually hates the powers he received. Wanna wire thin yet unbreakable limbs to out Wolverine, shape mimic ability. I don't even know what that means. Someone here gives me this look from The Office. What do you mean? I should say, what do you mean? What do you mean? I can imagine what he means. Because sometimes the racist YouTubers will say anything to discredit a project. So maybe he perceives me as that. I don't know who this user is. I don't follow him, but we have mutuals. So maybe we'll see what happens. General Zod said, oh, yeah, I've seen this comparison. Never that great in the first place. She is more annoying version of Spider-Man with the whole high school drama. Plus, she's an Inhuman. I don't understand any of these choices. It looks like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That's fine, but that's like a subjective take on the trailer and the style of it. And I'm fine with General Zod. And you guys can all subscribe to General Zod on YouTube because he's got some good stuff. He's always streaming late on a Saturday night. Late on a Friday night, I should say. Sathwick Reddy. This man is an Indian descent living in America. He says, if they tie her powers back to that bracelet that her grandma gave her, I think that would be more powerful story than in the comics. It would tie her powers to her heritage. And I would disagree with that it ties her powers to her heritage, making it better. I don't want better. I want the comic book story. We can change things later on, like in episode 6 or the next movie that she's in. You want to do something a little different that happened from the story that that you're adapting. Cool. But when we're talking about the origins of this character, she's got to do what she's supposed to do. Same way Steve Rogers had to get the super soldier serum, prove that he was like better, and he was a sincere, sweet guy, and do and we like think that those things must be accomplished in a movie in a series first, so that we know who the character is, and then we can start taking liberties on what we adapt. So saying that it would, what was it? What was it? I think that it would be more of a powerful story. I don't want a more powerful story. I want the same powerful story, the same effectiveness of the story when we get to Origins. Mike from Rogue Comics, this guy has a store in Bridgeport called Rogue Comics. I was expecting this. While I do demand accuracy, I still say this is a case of them choosing not to acknowledge a segment of the Marvel Comics universe that they don't want to acknowledge yet, Inhumans. Also, if she got her powers from an e-cigarette some other way, I think people would still be upset. I was joking about that when someone was saying about Terrigen Mist. I said, I don't care. E-cigarette, there's Terrigen Mist inside of it, and it activates her powers. Like, I really, fine. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if that's the way that she gets her superpowers. Just make it what the way decides to become a superhero. Make that consistent with what happened in comics. Well, damn. I'm glad I don't like the trailer or how it looks so far. Ha 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 ha. Reefer Man Reviews. Everyone check out Wayne's channel, Reefer Man Reviews. Paul, another guy with the YouTube channel. Just pure YouTubers who are chiming in. I'd love to discuss this with you, and we did on Halogen Helix channel. Guys, go check out the random podcast that we did 2 days ago now. It would have been Thursday night / Friday morning. Check out his, because we actually did talk about this, and Warren was there too. And I don't want to repeat what we said, but basically, you can watch that video. I should repeat what we said actually. To be fair, Chill, I'm okay with it. I would prefer to her have inhuman powers and the Inhumans done better than that atrocious show they had a few years ago. Of course, ultimately, it's the writers and directors who make these decisions. Also, they can always change it in the future. I'm not upset at the Inhuman thing. He says, I know you aren't, but I could tell they were going with an energy route using some sort of trinket. This looks like its appeal is to the teen demographic. You notice how Warren right now was talking about things that I wasn't talking about, like the energy route, the trinket, like it's gonna appeal to teens. That's not what I'm upset at all. He says I've never been a Ms. Marvel fan of any instance, so my opinion is irrelevant. To be fair, I disagree, man. I think Warren, that you know enough to understand being a fan isn't even a prerequisite. Nobody would accept if Hulk formed neon shields and walking discs. They just did that to Ms. Marvel. Um, this guy here, the Scouting Report says, Shang-Chi doesn't have 10 rings in the comics, right? Cole says that it's stupid, but I say that Shang-Chi, it's close. It's a good argument, almost. Shang-Chi himself, he is someone who still fights with his hands. Dad taught him how to fight. He does have family issues, comic books. He's got family issues in the movie. But his core and what his powers or his ability or skills is accurate. He doesn't necessarily have like some sort of enhancement. No, nothing bit him. He didn't have any radioactive, powers or nothing. He doesn't fly. None of that. All he has is 10 rings, which is different from comic books. 10 rings can be taken away. 10 rings could be, you know what I mean? Like if Kamala Khan has a bracelet that gives her powers and it takes it away, then how she's not a superhero anymore. She's literally just a person. From what the trailer told us, I don't know. Maybe we put it on once and you have the powers forever. I really don't know. And I would be fine with that. If she puts it on, activates her, what was that? I'm never wearing that thing again. And now she has the powers. I don't care. Yeah. Maybe she only glows when the bracelet's on. I'm trying to make it better, but like, it's not it. That's not the thing. Because the bracelets, as I say to him here, what makes the bracelets different is that I view them as an external weapon that can be stripped or destroyed by the next movie, not as intrinsic as Kamala Khan being a polymorph. Read issue number 1, or watch my recent video to see how it needs to be there for Ms. Marvel. 3 people liked that tweet. I'm guessing it was Warren and everyone else. What happened? I clicked on it. Whoops. Let's go back. Here we got Nerdy Girl Creates, another YouTuber. Carrie says, this is what I said. I'm not a fan of the character, but if I was, I would be pissed over the changes. And Reefer goes, I'm familiar with the character enough to know what it seems they don't know jack about Kamala. And I completely agree with you, Nerdy Girl. Why the changes? I know stretchy powers don't look good in live action, but why change them? And again, no one from Marvel actually said we can't do stretchy powers. I even saw at the end of the trailer where she kind of is stretching a little bit. She was reaching over from she was going towards the right side of the screen. You'll see it's like the last thing she does. She's glowing and she's like stretching here. Her legs are kind of back. I can't do it because of the way I'm sitting, but it's in the trailer, so she is stretching there. The last comment here is the Gothic Knight. Mr. Fantastic powers are actually badass. With a good writer, Reed can use his powers to great effects. Very true. Marvel Comics Presents book showed Reed take down villains in epic ways using his powers. Yep, it can all be done. All of that. That is the video today on a tweet that I posted and just following up on it. Did that guy respond? That guy who I messaged? Let's see, I got a new notification. Nope, it wasn't him. That's that. Recently, I just did a video with a perp minded, the Black Guru, SSJK. Sanctum, talking about Attack on Titan, and you can watch that here. Or watch that other video I recommended covering issue number 1 of Kamala Khan's Ms. Marvel over there.